Previously on Echo.
The crew ties up some loose ends. Mosey finally connects with Sister Mozaeya and enlists Jar's help to keep her old doctor safe. Div speaks with Auntie Tamis about what comes after revenge and recruits Zin to the crew. Pet recollects the good times in Zan's house. However, in a fit of rage after listening to another of Zan's data logs, he destroys Zan's room. As the group reunites, they receive a message from Jara. The Githyanki Tiger clan has taken the cavalry supplies and vanished. With the last known coordinates provided by Jara, the crew sets off to track them down. And now, a word from today's sponsor.
This show is proudly recorded on Zencastr. When we first started recording our podcast, we had a lot of options. We needed a platform that could record and generate separate tracks and videos with a full suite of professional tools at our disposal. Zencastr does everything for us, and it will do more for you. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code BaddieBards, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same experience I do for all my podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story.
Now let's play some fucking D&D. So, if we are ready, we can begin. The astral sea is always quiet. There is the gravitational whir of the planets and the magnetic pulsing of suns, but all of this is too low for the ear to register. So the astral sea is quiet. It strikes all of you as familiar. For Mosey, the quiet is a reminder of the life before this life, the calm fisherman's life. For Pet, the quiet is reminiscent of being outside of incorporated IOC space, the silence of the far reaches. And for Div, this brings to mind the silence of running with the doctor, the multiple times you had both better be silent as the grave so that you wouldn't be found. This time, though, in this place, the astral sea is silent because the noisy ships and beings that would normally inhabit the space before you have gone. The space where the Githyanki Tiger clan was once is empty. So all of you are aboard Oku's ship. You have Zind with you, you have the next prototype with you, and you have Oku in her workshop, clickety-clacking away on her guns and trying to generally remain inconspicuous. The three of you have your run of the ship, and you have Zind, who is before you doing young man tech things. So, what would y'all like to do?
I need to know what this young man tech things are. Is he playing Fortnite?
It does kind of look like homie is playing Fortnite, but what he's actually doing is he's trying to rig the comm system. So Oku and Zin sort of clicked, like while they were on the ship, they kind of clicked a little because
I love that.
Oku is cold but vaguely maternal, and Zind has never had a mom outside of Zand. So for Zind, coming across this mother of the titan of his boss is something truly new and spectacular. So they're watching the news together, basically, while Zind fucks around with the comm system to see whether or not he can tune into the Rusted Swamp channels. And you see he's almost cracked it. He can almost get there. And you see Oku is working on one of her guns, cleaning one of her guns, because that's a meditative practice for her. And they're sitting right beside one another, and Oku goes, "No, let's try this way." And Zin goes, "Yep, got you." And he tries whatever it is Oku has suggested. So they are in their own little world in the corner somewhere.
This is so sweet. Like somebody who's never had a mom and a mom who missed out a lot on their child's childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Santina, are you about to cry? Are you gonna cry? Aw.
Damn.
You're about to get me. That was it. I was thinking of introducing them to, but now that they are clicking with each other, it's just so. I think that Pet is just, clocking this, of course, but also like he is enjoying this moment that there is someone who is maybe not him. He's not ready to have, like, he's slowly getting, but that relationship reminds them of his own relationship with his mother.
I could see that. And you see Zind, he is talking to Oku very quietly, trying to catch her up to speed with what's happened, because Oku has no context for anything that went down in the Rusted Swamp. She landed a ship, or had her ship land, basically. Her ship landed, she comes out guns blazing, literally, gets into a firefight, and then gets told to stay in one place while her child ran off to do who the fuck knows. And that is her experience. That is her context. So you see Zin sort of catching her up to what's going on. And now that she has the full context, she looks over at Zind and she says, Are you sure there's... How did you find her before this? And Zin kind of, I don't know. I never had to look for Zin before. And so they're going back and forth trying to come up with a plan.
Okay.
They weren't born from the same clutch? Like, they weren't eggs together?
Yeah. But the question is more like, if Zand had ever run off before, what was y'all's plan to reconnect?
Okay. Okay. That's interesting.
Huh. I have some ideas. So are we three together, basically? Just like
y'all, all three of y'all are on the ship in wherever it is that you happen to be.
Have we had a rest yet?
Yes, you have. Well, thinking about it, yes, you have. You've had a long rest.
How long have we been? How long have we been out here? Like, I guess traveling to this place.
Traveling towards this place.
Yes.
Well, let's take a look at the map, because y'all,
we were in the neighborhood.
We're right by Eastry. Y'all were in the neighborhood. Yes. So the area that y'all have gone to from Eastry is, you've crossed over into the Proxima Centauri cluster, heading towards the Beehive Nebula, leaving IOC space. So you're going from Eastry's here. Oh, hold on, let me shift ping. Here to Andromeda here. So everybody, oops, sorry.
I know, like, would you say we're like right where Div is at? Or would we be closer to here?
Y'all are en route right now. And from that space, from Eastry all the way towards the Proxima Centauri cluster, has been about 6 hours.
Okay.
I think I turn my thing off. I look to Div. I think I'm just sitting at the council itself, just looking out at space. Where is everyone else? So I could
Div
have an
is
idea.
Probably like Zend and Oku are in the workshop.
They are in the comm station, but the comm station from the front where Pet is in the navigation console, the comm station is to the left, further back towards the left. closer to the workshop.
I think Div is probably in the workshop, checking on Nex, making sure that the tree has taken to their systems okay. So I think they have just like, Nex is on, and they were like, do you mind if I check to make sure the creeping violet is like settling in okay?
You see Nex has a helmet like yours, and the display of its eyes are like yours. So, but they have been static before this point. So for the first time, you actually see Nex blink, even though they clearly don't need to. Like, this is a helmet, you know what I mean? But you see Nex blink and turn so that way you can reach the back panel on its back.
I think when Div sees Nex blink, they like, oh shit. For sure. They're like a little taken aback, but it definitely makes them smile. Because to them, that's a sign that it is taking well, or that Nex is developing like their own personality. Yeah.
So you see Nex turns their back so that way you can check the panel or check the violet inside of their circuitry. And they open the panel on their own, like, and it like slides open, and you see the entire back like of the circuitry of the servos, the screws, all of it covered in something that looks like moss or fungus almost. Greenery, leaves, all up and through Nex's body. So yes, it has taken it by storm.
Nex, how do you feel?
Nex turns to regard you and says, unclear. Feel unclear.
That's okay. The fact that you can even answer that question is fucking incredible. So Div will, like, upon seeing the greenery, they shut it close, give Nex a pound and back, and they're like, do you want to eat something? They pull like a little satchel of like their little data chip food shit that Auntie Tamise packed them. They're like, have you ever had food? Like, I don't know if you've had food before, but do you want to try some?
Yes.
Div fucking just opens the bag and they're like, just pick something out. It's all good. Auntie Tamise packed it. I know it's all good.
You see Nex sort of peers down and you hear the cameras in its eyes sort of like zooming in to analyze what's inside of these. And then Nex looks at you and says, this is food.
Yeah, for us it is. Organic folk eat it differently, but we are able to have the food processed onto chips that'll agree with our genetic makeup, biological makeup. So you just insert it like this, and Div will like show like a little tiny like little square hatch that pops open where their mouth should be. It's like a fucking USB drive, and they pop it right there, and then it closes. And then I think their eyes turn like into those little happy crescents, like in anime. And they're like, oh, fuck. They picked up beef stew.
Ooh, okay. That sounds delicious, actually. I was thinking about making
I'm thinking about making some. we here.
Anyway, so you see Nex, like you hear the cameras whirring again as Nex regards these data chips. And then like reaches out a hand, takes a small chip and examines it. And you see it says like spaghetti bolognese, and like examines it, and then like you see the hatch open in its mouth and it like slides it in. And you physically see Nex go like that and like shake and shimmy. as this food is processed in its system, and it goes, oh, 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 and like begins to glitch out a little bit. I don't think it's ever had like food before at all. So this is a
that's
whole
exactly
new
why
sensation.
Div like is like, okay, it's time to introduce Nex into different sensations.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they're at with that. And so they laugh a little bit. They clap Nex on the shoulder way too hard because they are very strong. But they clap Nex on the shoulder way too hard, make him shake a little bit, and they're like, "It's okay, you'll be all right. It's new. You can have as many as you want."
You see Nex grabs a hefty handful.
Okay, save
and
some
like,
for me.
It goes, oh, and then drops a few from his hands back into the bag. And it takes like its handful of treasures and like waddles off. And you hear like the do, waddles off and looks at all of them. And you see Nex like sits down like in a small corner and starts organizing the chips by flavor.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I love that. I love them so much. Div is very pleased. And I think actually seeing Nex reminds them that like, oh wait, something fucking shook loose in my body. I should probably have that looked at. And so I think they'll go off to find Pet. But as they're walking towards like where Pet, I think Pet is maybe like in the comms area or like towards the front of the ship because I know that they drive it usually. I feel like as they're walking towards
I'm in a drive.
Pet,
I'm at the seat. I'm in the seat.
Then as they're walking towards Pet, they're looking like in the rooms they pass by to also see where Doc is at.
And where do we find you, Dr. Bleak? Or Mosey in this case?
I think Mosey is probably like also towards the front of the ship, like with Pet, just like in like the co-pilot's chair or whatever, literally like not doing anything, very like passenger princess, like staring at their phone. And just kind of like continue like checking their phone to see if like there's any like messages from like new numbers or anything like that, or like looking for communications from Sister Bleak.
Roll me I'm gonna roll it actually. And you tell me odds or evens, beloved.
Evens, always.
Evens? Always evens? Sounds good to me.
Evens never fail me.
We'll see. Oh. You have no new messages at this time. You rolled a 15.
You know, and if the evens decided that, I trust the evens. It wasn't meant to be.
Yes, at this precise moment, you don't have any new messages, but you keep like checking.
Yeah. Mozaeya is like little just like sitting in the co-pilot's chair, just like looking at her phone, kind of staring at it quietly to herself. The colors on her code are moving a bit slower, more lethargic than usual. Mm. But other than that, she's just mostly being quiet.
Mm.
Can I sneak up on Doc and scare her?
Yeah. Why not?
I want to scare Doc.
So I guess in this case, it would be like stealth against Doc's passive perception.
Nah, shit's crazy, bro.
And what is your passive, Dr. Bleak? Is it like what, 15?
Just 15, yeah. So well above.
So Div like silently creeps up, very much like in a, not like they don't turn into like a wolf or anything, but like, you know, like a sleek, like big cat type style. And I feel like Pet could fully see Div. And they look at Pet, like give a wink, and they just like gently, like they grab Doc's shoulders like from behind the chair and like kind of jostle her a little bit. Just to see like what her reaction would be. They just want to fuck with her right now.
Doc, again, like the coat like streaks yellow very quickly. Doc will like immediately like jump, sort of look back. You can see their eyes flash like that deep fucking void black or whatever as they prepare a spell. Or then see it's Div. They kind of like blink a bit. Eyes go back to normal. Hello, Div. How can I help you?
Hi. I was wondering if we could all have that talk now that we have been dying to have.
Oh, that talk. Yeah, I suppose now's as good a time. Is Next going to be joining us?
Div like looks back. Oh, Next is like back in the workshop though. They're in the back of the ship. So I think they like look back and then they look back at Doc and they kind of shrug. They're like, I don't know. I just introduced Next to food, so they seem to be having fun with that.
How are they taking to it?
Very excited. Div will like share Nex's reaction to it, and be like, they're back there like sorting through their food data chips now. It's really cool. Their circuitry is like it's being completely taken over by the creeping violet.
Pat is passively listening to this conversation y'all have. But as soon as it like tones down, he does pay attention to you, Doc.
I guess we start with what do you want to know?
Okay, I do have a question. I think Pat kind of turns the chair towards Mozaeya and asks, you did say something about before of this area being someplace you know.
And Mozaeya will nod. Yes, the New Frontier Rehabilitation Center is in this area. It's not a good place. There was, I guess, an emergency or some kind of meltdown or riot or attack, maybe. I didn't pay attention much when the place was burning. I simply got out. But yes, the vast majority of patients and doctors, I assume, would be in this area, and so probably best to stay on your guard, at least around here.
Pat mulls this over and asks, how did you escape?
Well, if you remember about when we first met, the story is not too dissimilar, actually. I was in a therapy session, alarms started blaring, and I stole a ship and got the fuck out.
Wait, you have skills of driving a ship?
I figured it out.
Can I?
It wasn't pretty by any means, but everyone else was a bit too occupied trying to survive.
Pet is like picturing the worst case scenario of like it just was on autopilot. Basically, they figured out how to make it send to A point to B point to go because he literally does. He is not convinced that you know how to fly a ship.
There's like a Family Guy cut of like Dr. Bleak like wrenching the wheel, like pressing a bunch of buttons, and then it just cuts like the ship just being on autopilot and just like cruising smoothly to like its last known coordinates, and she's just like the child lock is on or some shit.
Not the child lock. That's so fucking funny.
No, I figured it out.
How did you end up there?
I was outside of IOC space, as is the norm, at least for me, what I was, or who I was. Mm-hmm. There was something dark between the stars. I saw it. We all saw it. Everyone I was with. And it, I wouldn't say broke us, but it rearranged things in a ways that isn't good for here.
Here as in?
Reality. Or at least this one.
So what you encountered wasn't good for this current reality?
No, not at all. So yes, like I said, I am crazy. so it drove me crazy. And the place where they put crazy people, at least crazy people who would fall into this particular entity, we'll call it, was the New Frontier Rehabilitation Center. And we were all there together, and the doctors were there. And we were points of interest, you could say, to the IOC and their interests and whatever fun experiments they could think of to figure out what was going on.
Does the New Frontier Rehabilitation Center ring any fucking bells for me? Even whispers I may have heard, like, amongst the ne'er-do-wellers, that we used to deal with, like fucking Doc and I, Dr. Duty.
Roll me a history check, please. I'm just
we have Pet's mom, too, so...
Oku was gonna stop by and then decided not to.
God.
Div doesn't know that
one for a whopping 0, baby.
That's
wonderful.
crazy.
So not at all.
It was
wasted
so
your
fucking
20,
close to landing on the 19.
Wasted your 20 on a fucking little spook jump scare. That's crazy.
Worth it.
Anyway.
Worth it. I would change nothing.
Div would know because I did say it in front of them that their mom was going to be there. Decided. But Pet wants to come back to the thing that you said about reality and says, what do you mean about this reality?
Space, I guess. The IOC space, the galaxy, society, if you will. Reality, reality as you know it. The 3 dimensions that we're running around in, the linear time that we're moving forward to back from. It's everything that we know, everything that encompasses our way that we perceive the universe. What I saw was something outside of it, larger than it, darker than it, hungrier than it.
What was it, Doc? Like, what do you know its name?
The one between is usually what it's called. Again, it's it's not. Again, name is a thing for this reality. I mean, like, it's hard to describe, and if you were to conceive it, you would probably go crazy too. I mean, that's why I don't quite let you guys in my head too much, because it rattles around in here.
Like, in the sense that it, like, how some faith-based people get their powers from a patron, like in that sense?
Similar, actually. Not quite. It's not a patron. It opened my eyes to the way things work between the lines of reality. And I guess I kind of learned my magic and how to sort of tweak things here by speaking out there.
So are you saying that you can bend reality with your magic?
That's all that magic is, really, bending reality.
Div looks thoughtful at that, because that rings true for them, for sure.
Pet asks, so is this code connected to this reality? What does black mean?
And Dr. Bleak will kind of like look down at her coat. It hasn't come up before. I can't really tell what colors these are most of the time. I can't really tell what most colors are most of the time. I don't know if you remember, Pet. Sort of, yeah. Again, I saw the thing. I saw outside of reality. Imagine, if you will, seeing colors beyond the visible spectrum that you can see, far beyond anything you could possibly imagine, and then being thrust back into a narrow little window of Roy G. Biv. They all kind of blend together, really. You had tried to teach me how to drive a ship ages ago, Pet, and you mentioned a red button, and I think that was where I clocked out, honestly, because They all just kind of look like varying shades of grayscale, and if I stare really hard, sure, one of them sort of seems red-ish, but I can tell when I'm scared, people see what they describe as yellow. When I feel feelings that are outside of this reality, it goes black, and I assume it's just something that you all can't see. But this coat, this has
Div would
the other
have
colors.
been equipped with like various, like the ability to see in various lights because of what their initial purpose was. But it's definitely not something that they utilize. But what do you think, Alex?
My headcanon, I could see that logic, but my thinking is that because the doc was the like creator of you as a like autognome
Individual, yeah.
Yeah. He can't give you what he doesn't have. Right? So it's like trying to tell a human to comprehend what a mantis shrimp can see.
Mm-hmm.
Or to build something that can see what a mantis shrimp can see.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit, it's doable, just a little bit more complicated.
And I get
than
that. But I'm thinking in the sense of like, you know how we are able to utilize UV lights?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, or be able to see like in infrared, like using, you know what I mean? Like technology and shit.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about like in that sense. What do you think?
Yeah, I could see you having different like vision types. Like you could see an infrared or see like UV light or whatever, what have you. Yeah, I could see that.
Just will make like a mental note to look at Doc's coat in a different light. Literally next time.
I think Pet is stuck on the point that that this nigga is colorblind.
No, for real.
There has been so many moments that we have said certain things that you say you clocked out because of the
That's so fucking funny.
I didn't want to bring it up. It wasn't relevant, but you know.
Yeah,
It
I remember
relevant.
At that time of moments of like when things happen, you know, it wasn't relevant because it wasn't something that I would have known or, you know, in that moment of time. Yeah.
Plus, like when you like made my outfit on Mappa 66, Div, I had no clue if the colors matched at all, if they were just like horrendously clashing. But I took your word for it that I looked pretty, and I appreciate you dressing me.
Div just like slow blinks, and they save that nugget of information for later too, because now I can dress this nigga up in crazy colors.
But
they give a nod. They pat Doc on the back. I think Div is feeling settled because, I mean, they like this nigga just wouldn't tell us things, and now they understand why.
Pat looks at Doc and says, and I don't think I had a conversation with you after that battle me and Doc had, and I say to Doc, what did you mean that you were able to kill me if I attacked you to a certain point? Because I shot you 2 times, and I know I could have put you down, but I didn't.
Yeah, and you ended up dropping your weapon, and you ended up on the ground first.
But what if I didn't? What if I pushed it to the point that would have destroyed you, or at least died? I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I probably would have died. Like I said, though, my violence, like I said then, it's not as quick as a bullet. It's slow, insidious. It's it's slower. It's literal what is it, year and a half? More than a year and a half of sitting with you in a therapy session and chipping away at your psyche day after day after day after day in the isolate.
No, it didn't work, but hey.
Yeah. Didn't. But it could have if I wanted it to. And that was a whole other thing. I wasn't trying to hurt anyone. I was trying to help. But no, if you had decided to... In fact, if you decided to kill me right now, you probably could. But if I decided to kill you right now, I probably could. I think it's just a matter of who decides to kill who first, and I'm not in a murderous mood.
I'm not in the
like
murderous room yet. And I think Pet just says, like, yeah, I do remember you telling me about how your violence is different from mine's. Yeah. Mine may look quick and messy, but I learned from cycles and cycles to be more accurate, more precise, efficient to return those to the 3. What's the point of prolonging the suffering of those who are not my... And Pet looks, and he's gonna... and Pet's gonna say, my main targets.
There's not much of one.
This pipes up. Who the hell is the 3?
The 3.
Oh.
Pat thinks this over for a second. The 3 is the universe, and the 3 is also within me, if that makes sense.
Perfect sense.
And I think he kind of continues on the thought of, like, his main targets are his, who he wants to make suffer, and says, and he looks very closely at Doc, and continues saying, like, no, I'm saving my worst for those who need to feel terror. And he, like, looks up and...
I can respect that. I can respect fast, efficient, violent. I'm just bad at it. I don't really have the physique, and she'll just kind of like do a little curtsy with the lab coat for strength or the accuracy for guns. I can say words that hurt people, and I can manipulate situations to hurt things. And those are where my strengths lie, and so I've learned to keep myself safe with it. Yeah. I'm not saying my violence is better than yours, it's just different. And
different
the
and similar.
The IOC uses both of our violences to maintain control, and so I think it's important that we lend our strengths to each other.
So, as you say that the IOC uses both of y'all's violence to keep things under control, you hear Zend over by the comms console. Like, you hear him turn up a broadcast, and it is Voss Barlow in an interview on, like, a talk show. And he's, like, campaigning to be part of the Aegis, and you hear him talking shit. They destroyed our prototypes. These rebel scum. They think that they can do whatever they want. The IOC is trying to keep people safe here. I don't understand. All we want is to do what's right for the people of the IOC. And you hear, like, the interviewer sort of, like, going along with this line of questioning. And you hear Zend, like, say, they talk a lot of shit about you guys, boss. Have you guys ever thought of shooting back?
That's... Zend, like, how good are you with hacking?
You see Zend gives a very wide smile, and he says, I've never had the chance to, but I've always wanted to.
Div looks to Mosey and Pet, and they're like, They kind of shrug. I think we should send a message.
I think also Pet will say he sure is talking a lot of shit when Mozaeya made him scream half the time we were in battle.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, I was screaming too.
Yeah, we know, but in that
Yeah.
case, we took his weaponry and everything from him. This is a sad.
I think it's
sad
best
person.
to save a message when we have something meaningful to say.
I have
I
plenty
think-
meaningful to say.
I know, but I think it's easy to say that the IOC is shit and that there's something better. I think it would be more meaningful if you would have something concrete, substantial to present to people as a alternative.
Div frowns a little bit and looks at Zen and is like, I think I'd like for you to work on like a little project and let me know if this, aligns with you. Would it be possible for us to take over a couple channels for like just a few minutes to broadcast something?
Zen's smile widens even further. And he says, absolutely. That's definitely doable. I poked around before, and their servers are not nearly so secure as they think they are. And their intergalactic broadcasting system is pretty archaic. They're very much, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but that's how people like me get in.
Div sniffles with just pure, just being so proud right now.
I feel like it is time. Like Pet gets up and like just like hugs, like pats Zen on the head and says like, "I'm so proud of you in this moment," and like this smiling at him.
Zen, you see he's a little bit paler, like he's got a pale yellow sort of situation, but his face goes full flush and he's like, oh my, in like sort of embarrassment a little, but he's happy about it. And he says, if you'd like, I can work on it. It'll give me something to do while we navigate.
I think that'd be great. What do you all think?
I think it'd be very useful to have.
I think Pat will say, I do have something to say, but work on what you need to do.
Zend gives you a dorky little salute and heads to the comms console, and I'm gonna roll and see how long it's gonna take him.
Cool.
Wait, I know you're gonna roll for this, but I want to ask a question because we do need to know. I want to know. I asked Zen. Do you know how many people? This is going back to Astra. Was Astra the only one taken?
Zend, the smile falls, and he looks more concerned when you say that. He says, "I'm not sure. I know she was taken." And then you see like it quirk. He gets like a little quirk, like an idea. And he says, I could try to send a sending to her.
Yes.
And so you see Zend like sits down at the comms console and begins to like, he pulls out like a branch. It looks like a branch from the mangrove tree, but it's shorter and it's like lined with tech, sort of like wrapped around it, and so that it's interwoven with this mangrove like twig or whatever.
Dope.
And he begins to write in the air, and you see him write out ascending, Astra, we're coming for you. Let us know that you're okay. And you see the message like shoots off, and he waits and waits and waits for more time. And then his shoulders fall. No answer.
Fuck. That sucks.
Possible they might be keeping her sedated and in a place where she cannot answer. given her history of pulling off impossible escapes from impossible to escape from places.
And I think Pet kind of it shows that it's like he is deflated a little bit, and just says, we will definitely find her. She found us one way, we're gonna find her too.
Mozaeya nods.
I think we need to be all on the same page about why are we going here? Why are we going to see the Gift Yankee? And I think what Pat just says about I know I told them that we're going there because I guess everyone's on the same page. I know Zen knows that Jara called and said we're going there to see what the hell is happening with their order. But I don't think there's people who understand the context of them going there. And Pet says, I would like to think that the Gift Yankee left once they figured out, or Zan figured it out, that we're coming over there. But I feel like there is something else at play here.
You think Xander's with them?
They have to be.
Why would they be?
That's where Sarah is.
How do you know this?
We all
like me, Blue. I'm sorry, that was Div for sure, but also Blue. How did you figure that out?
That's only 2 or 2 because it said about the Gift Yankee in the tapes. So I feel like this is the at least maybe not there, but
all Gift Yankee know the tiger claws.
Yep. Because they said they're going to Sarah, and Sarah said, "Yeah, we know
Could
it
it
now.
be me?
This is a
Doc
good start."
is a colorblind. I don't see color or Gift Yankee.
Oh my, or Yankee. I don't see Gift Yankee. New episode title. That's so funny.
2 and 2 together. I think Pet is. I'm thinking because Sarah says come to the Gift Yankee clan, there has to be some level of. This is Pet saying. In general, there has to be a level that Zan has to be there, or was there, or at least was over in that area. That's how I feel.
It would stand to reason they are in the neighborhood.
Div like bristles visibly, but they not.
You all see Zind, like his eyes get wide, and he says, "I can ask her. We can figure it out. I just sent a sending to Astra. What if I sent a sending to Zand?"
Hey, my time to shine, baby.
Should we send a sending to Zan? I don't want them to know that we're coming per se. If we can maintain an
It's
element
not
of
like
surprise.
they
I
can
assume
track the
we're
sending, but you can pose as if you're worried, Zend, and say, I don't know if you would even answer this, but
No, I want them to know I know.
you say what you think is best, Zend, because you are part of the team now. So whatever way you want to go about this, I personally am okay with.
Zind looks between the two of you and looks conflicted. And he says...
Both your older siblings staring at you.
Right.
Yeah.
He says, I don't know if she'll answer if she knows that we're coming. I haven't tried to reach out to her for over a year. I guess I just kind of thought she would come back or try and reach out to me or show that she cared somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But given that that hasn't happened, if we tell her that we're coming, that it's not just me, she won't answer. I can tell. Maybe? I don't know.
I think Pat... I think Pets wants to send that sending and see. I think he does trust Zin's, what the plan is wise, but I have an idea that may also, as you have said, that will trigger the fact that I am with you. But I have a feeling, this is me in Pet's heart of hearts, that if they know they're out, then they know they most likely have traveled back to Estries some way or sometime.
Absolutely. And I mean, and I feel like they would know what went down on Estrie as well, because Voss Barlow was talking about it, talking about how we fucked up his prototypes.
But would he?
Or was he talking about the most recent incident, or was he talking about the summit incident?
The summit.
Interview?
Wait, was he? Which one, Alex?
Talking about the summit.
Okay. Yeah, summit. All right, so because you two did make national news, so at the very least, Zand, Mozaeya will say this in character. You did make the national news, so Zand will know that you're out. I don't know much about Zand, or like what type of person they are. Are they?
They're like you. Div says a little quietly.
Mozaeya will like blink at that. What do you mean like me in like what sense?
They're very charming. They're very strategic. They're very secretive. They were the voice of our group. They were the plan maker. They were the person who could, talk a mermaid out of fucking water and think it's a good idea. And I think that's why it's taken me a long time to get to where they like motion between themselves and Mosey, like to where we are now. Because you reminded me so fucking much of Zand. Which I know isn't fair.
Mozaeya will kind of like tilt her head at that. Thank you for telling me. Can I ask... Can I ask a slightly unrelated question?
Mm-hmm.
Is your black hole actually under control, or is that just something you said to make me feel better?
Give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Fuck D&D Beyond. Fuck y'all. Wizard of the
Both,
Coast. I'm rolling with my
I know Pet eyes went kind of wide, but
yeah, what's Pet's reaction during all this? Because I feel like you could hear a pin drop in the room right now.
It's not his place, but he is like very certainly aware of what's going on because he's still thinking about the message. But
a con saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A beautiful, voluptuous 12.
So you got a 12. And that thing that fell in the center of you, you feel it be sucked up into the black hole as it begins to whir and spin and convulse and pulse very loudly within you. And your hand reaches out and straight up smacks Zind in the face as your arms jerk out in very strange configurations and you black out.
What? Oh my
God! Can I immediately? How does Zin react? First of all,
Zin tries to duck, and then Zin is fine. He took like 2 points of damage because like you hit him, but like you hit him in the leg because you're kind of short and he's pretty tall. So you hit him in the leg and he like stumbles a little bit and goes back. He's like, whoa, what the hell, boss?
Div, I
And
think their
you-
eyes are like looking around, and like when Doc first asks it, they like slow blink, and you can tell that they're about to respond, and then they start like glitching out, and their eyes like dart to their arms and like their limbs that are like fucking up, and they turn into like really tiny. They're usually like these very like big ovals, their eyes, but they turn into like tiny dots, and then they start to flicker. And then you know the way a TV looks when it shuts off, like back the old TVs though, you know that, and it's like that line. Like their eyes do that, and so you just see like that empty space in their head when they shut off. And when they fall unconscious, they don't even fall. They just like their head just like lobs down, their arms like drop, and they like bend over at a straight up like L angle.
And you, as you like bend over into this 90-degree angle, your body begins to vibrate and jitter.
Okay, I think what Pet does, because they know, is says to Doc, you need to move right now. Everyone move to the weapons area. Move away from Div.
DM, are there escape pods on the ship?
Like, you say evens, right?
Evens, always evens.
Always evens. 18, yes, there are.
No, because
there is an escape pod.
Because like literally what Mozaeya does. Mozaeya asks like, hey, is the black hole actually under control, or was that just something you said to make me feel better? And then Div like starts glitching out and vibrating, and like not even like Pet says it, Mozaeya looks at Pet and just like in like the calm and orderly fashion that like your school wants you to do fire drills at, like because she's like walking towards the escape pod, like not a word, not a single word.
I literally just tell everyone we need to move back from Div. We need to move back.
Actually, fuck.
And
let me roll something real quick.
Oh God, I was gonna pick you up. I was literally gonna pick you up.
Evens, fuck. All right.
I think because of seeing Div like this, Pet will say, I don't know what the level they can control it, but we need to move back from them.
Div, roll me a D10, please.
Oh God.
6.
It takes about 6 minutes for your systems to come back online. And everybody has been, you see you see Mosey like walking towards the escape pod, and Zend is walking backwards trying to make sure that you're okay. Oku is backing away and looks very concerned both about you and about her ship. And Nex is in the back. You see Nex has sort of like peeked its head out, and they're looking at you, and their eyes are huge, wide, in abject shock. This is the first time you've seen, or you haven't seen, but they've seen a facial expression on Nex's face.
Holy shit.
And it takes about 6 minutes for your systems to come back online. And when they do, you hear a poof, like an explosion on the inside of your body. So you have disadvantage on Constitution saving throws. Roll me a D4.
I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1. So for 1 hour, you have disadvantage on Constitution saving throws. As this part of your body, the hatch is like punched out a little bit. It looks as like it's made of metal, and it looks as though somebody rammed their fist through the metal. And so it's punched out a little bit with the force of the explosion that went down inside your body. And it takes a second for your systems to come back online. And when they do, the connection that you had with Nex, that like messing with each other's interfaces thing, you see it glitching for you, not because of Nex, but because of you. So there's glitches all throughout your system, and you're still moving in these really jerky ways, but you can control it, at least for now. at least for now. Zend at the back says, we need to make haste. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to boss. And you see he pulls out that twig again, that techno twig, and begins to write out a sending to Zand. And it just says, sis, come get me. Where are you?
You can pick me up. I'm scared.
I wanted to say like to add Zeke at the end of it, but that would be a little bit too on the nose.
Zeke?
Mm-hmm.
Who's Zeke?
Alex, let me.
I'm sick to my stomach of the secrets of the lies.
Right?
Me looking at Alex.
No.
Who is Zeke?
No.
Who is Zeke?
Zeke is the same person.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That is what you called Zand, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Deep cheapers. Yeah, so you see Zand, he writes out the message, and it takes a second, but it doesn't take as long as it took with Astra. He waits, and he waits. And then a message comes back, and you see his shoulders like reach his ears, this gangly string bean of a Githyanki. And he's like, she answered. She answered. And he like pulls out, you see Oku hands him like a little pad, like a tablet, and he begins to input coordinates. And he sends out another message and he says, on my way, basically, to respond to that. He's just telling he's on his way. And you now have the coordinates for where Zand is. What would y'all like to do?
Are they where we're heading?
Oh, yeah.
Or are they in like the area where the tiger claws had taken our shipment?
As a matter of fact, you, Dr. Bleak, recognize this area extremely well. Give me a history check real quick, please.
Bitch.
We all in the back.
That's just an 11.
An 11?
Modest.
The DC was only
he works
10.
hard.
So
9 to 5.
loves your kids and never stops. So you recognize the coordinates because it was the first place that you stopped when you left the New Frontier Rehabilitation Center. When you left the facility, the ship that you took only had like half a power core's worth of energy left. And so you had to go and re-up, basically. You had to go and fill up your tank, as it were. And one of the places that you're able to do such a thing is in a place called the Keep. It is an asteroid on the far side of Andromeda.
Damn. Mozaeya will have been like sitting in the escape pod, like finger over the button, and will have like relayed this to the team once they figured out the coordinates.
Is he shouting like are you shouting out like on the comm instead of talking?
How close is the escape pod to like the general room?
The escape pod is on the opposite side of the workshop.
Okay, Mozaeya would have like been on like speakerphone, just like in the escape pod.
Damn.
I think when they come back on and they see everybody in the back looking at them worried, Doc not even in the same fucking room, like,
no,
like
absolutely
in the escape
not.
pod, Div mind starts to run with shit. Like, this I didn't want to share it. I didn't want to scare people. I didn't want people to be scared of me. I didn't want people to avoid me. I don't want to be alone. Like, they start having a lot of thoughts and they like connect eyes with Next, truly the only person who can understand them in this moment for real. And I think they just like, they kind of look away in shame. They like adjust themselves. Their like shoulders like still twitching. Their like eyes are still kind of like glitching out a little bit. And I don't think Div says anything. I think they just go to the workshop.
Oh, I was gonna say Pet was going to follow you, see if you're okay.
I think then Pet would see them in the workshop, sitting on like the fucking like table. Looking at their interface and seeing like if any error messages are coming up, and if they are, like, what are they saying?
There is an error message, and it just keeps blaring. You hear an internal alarm. Just something to let you know that something has gone wrong. There's a malfunction. And basically, it's saying that you're running too hot for all intents and purposes. And that there is you can't see this, but you can tell. There is a small fire inside of your circuitry, behind the black hole, in the center of your body where you cannot reach. And that is where the error message is coming from, because your circuitry is melting, basically, because of this fire.
If Doc was made aware that Div was back up, Doc would have like come back. Doc would have just like stayed in the escape pod for as long as Div was like down and vibrating and like incoherent and like unconscious, essentially. Like, but Doc would also like have followed Div to like ensure if they were okay, if so long as they can like ask if they're okay and get a response.
I think Pat, like, even I think he knows the protocol between me and let me get back to with people moving back away, not being in, you know, if would you say, Div, for your character, you have told Pet what to do if shit goes bad?
Yeah, Div would have absolutely said, like, you need to get, like, as far away from me as possible.
And I think Pet heard, acknowledges that, but at the same time, he cannot bear to let you be by yourself doing this, going through this. And even if you are malfunctioning, he knows that he's going to come back and check on you always. So when you go to the workshop, he goes to you just like you know, all that shit happened to you, but he immediately just kind of looks around you and just like, are you okay? Are you fine? I don't know how to do shit on you, but I can help. So do you need help?
Div is like quiet for a second. I think they're like staring down at their hands, like flexing their claws. Something's wrong and I don't know how to fix it. I'm all jumbled up inside and I don't know how to go about repairing it. Usually shit happens, you know, when I get really upset about something. But Doc just asked a simple question that I was fully prepared to answer. And I don't know. I don't know how much longer I'll last. I don't know how much longer I won't be a danger to those around me. And they like look up at Pet. And I think this is a look that they probably have never given Pet. It is like completely fucking serious. As serious as like the fucking grave, you know, very like intense. And they're like, I mean it when I say if something happens, you all should go. We saw what Next could do. And I can only imagine if mine's isn't controlled, it could be fucking way worse.
Pet looks at you and he takes a moment, listen to what you said, and I think he puts his hands on your claws and says, I have not thought of the day of you leaving like that, being out of, I guess, control of yourself, is there no way we can figure out how to stop this? Or is there an alternative to this? Because I cannot see the day with you gone.
Div like chuckles a little bit, but there is no joy behind it. And they're just like, I don't know, but I honestly don't know. Dr. JT is, I have to find Dr. JT. I know where JT is. I have to go to him, but I've been able to fight it off for a long time. And maybe my body is just tired now. I mean, on the bright side, at least I'll go out in a fucking blaze of glory. If nothing else, it'll be legendary. But I don't know. And I think they like try to like peek around Pet to see like where Nex is.
Nex is still in the workshop, eyes laser focused on you. And you see like Nex is still holding their little data chips. And a couple of them have gone because they've eaten them. But they sort of walk towards you and they don't say anything. I don't think Nex knows what to say. This is new for them, same as it is for you. But they walk towards you and they put a hand on your shoulder and hold out a data chip for you.
Oh. Div fucking they smile at Nex and they take it, they munch on it, and they kind of just tilt their head at Nex and like, how do you control it?
Also, will Doc have found them by now at all?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say for sure.
Come on in. Come on in, Doc. Come on in.
Yeah. Doc will enter, but like see there's a moment happening, just like stand there for a bit.
Nex doesn't answer. But they tilt their head to one side and they say, unclear.
I thought you might say that. They like see Mosey enter and they're like, well, to answer your question, I just said that so, you know, you wouldn't trip on it or anything. I've been able to keep pretty good control of it so far, though. They do like little finger guns. I've been doing pretty good so far.
Yeah, Pet is just like very concerned. Like you can see it on his face.
Div is like absolutely trying to use humor to lighten everybody's situation, but on the inside they are very much like, I should probably make a will. Yeah, I should make a will. Like that's the type of time they're on right now.
I think Pat says we are going to need to find Dr. JT. There has to be a way.
Dr. JT.
Dr. JT is my creator. I think we talked a little bit about him before.
An emotion doctor, or is he like a science? Is it like a science problem, or is it like when you feel cornered or pressured or upset that it happens? Like, is it a tech issue, or is it a you are a feeling being with a black hole inside you issue?
I think it's both.
Right. My doctor might be of a bit more help then.
They like squint their eyes at Doc and they're like, Are you sure?
They helped me. I'm much, much better than I was, trust me.
Do you mean Sister Mozaeya Bleak?
She has a doctorate, so she's technically a doctor. But yes, I think she could also be of assistance to you in ways that Dr. JT, bless his heart, might fall short of.
I think I think that while I know Alex I think during this time Zan sent that message during the time when Div was down, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will say to them, right after all this conversation, we have coordinates directly to Zan.
Div's eyes widen and they're like, that was fast. How long was I out?
6 minutes, 27 seconds.
They like look at Mosey like, okay, damn, that's pretty cool. But you know, like down to the second. Holy shit.
They that type of doctor. They're a time doctor.
Div has been actively like this entire conversation, like doing deep breathing. I put quotations because they don't fucking breathe, but like doing like meditative practices in a way to like keep their fucking cool, because now they're like, oh, I can't just be passive about it. I have to like probably always be in a state of calm on like some monk shit. So that way I don't blow my fucking gasket. Cause now we're gonna go see Zand. Like you bring up Zand and like I think their breath catches for a second and then they're like, we're breathing. We're in a nice cozy tree swing. Like
if you give me 1 or 2 more days of research, I should have a spell that should assist you in keeping calm. Yes, I should be able to help. Just yes.
Thanks, Mosey. I'm sorry I didn't tell you before. It's just not,
That's okay.
Not trying to blow up my spot.
Yeah, no worries at all. I was worried that you didn't like me because black holes don't like me, and you had a black hole in you that was making you not like me.
No.
Wonderful to know you just disliked me naturally. It's great. How close?
I think Pat
How
just
close are we to this fucking asteroid? They're on an asteroid, by the way. It's about a skip and a hop away from the New Frontier. If anyone tries to talk to you about the one between, don't listen to them. If you see anyone in lab coats, don't trust them.
So, in your case, would this be the perfect time for you to be different too?
Maybe.
Is Doc close enough for Div to touch?
Doc will be like by the doorway, and we'll have like approached as the conversation like continued.
I think Div
I could be in.
Pinches Doc's cheek just with the tip of their claws, like, so I know you can. They're thinking like, I know you can shift form, but is it like slime like or like what's the material? You know what I mean? They just do like a gentle pinch, see it's like fully flesh, and they're like, okay.
Yeah, it's just like it feels like flesh, and Doc will kind of like look down at her hand for a bit and just kind of like hold it up to Div, and there is a sort of shift, a ripple almost, and the sort of edge of Doc's hand kind of fades into this sort of molten magma or lava almost, of this sort of like roiling dark gray stone. There's kind of this sort of glowing orange light energy underneath, and she'll just like very quietly grow a 6th finger and then give them like a little like double thumbs up.
This is my favorite song. Doc Lore. I love it. I'm eating it up. I'm being fed tonight. Oh my God. I fucking love this. Div just like kind of looks on in amazement, and they're like, that's pretty fucking cool.
Well, thank you. If it's all the same, I think I would like to stay, Dr. Bleak. However, if we do run into someone who recognizes me, I'll probably have to try and kill them, and they usually trust Dr. Bleak, and it's helpful to try and stab them in the back.
Or, I mean, we can handle the killing. If you need to do convincing, maybe that would be the best way.
Yeah.
hesitantly
Yeah.
the best way.
If Zand is like me, they should at least listen to something that sounds like reason. I can be someone else if Dr. Bleak is not good for this area.
Do you
I
ever want to
think-
be you?
I wouldn't be helpful in this situation, at least not right now.
Div is completely wearing an expression that says doubtful, but they nod.
No, please. Me, the one who's not Dr. Bleak, they're in an escape pod halfway across the galaxy, like right now. So best if I'm not me just for now.
I think I was like looking at I just look at you, look at Mozaeya, and I'm like, who knows? We have seen you so far as this form or this person, but the real Dr. Mozaeya is out there. You've been whoever you are this whole entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna smile at that.
Trust us if you decide that you want to be anything you want to be, that we're not going to judge you.
Div completely
kind of nod.
is nodding and agrees with that.
So the group of you, as you input these coordinates and you head forward towards the keep, you make your way and you see the keep is an irregularly shaped asteroid in the belt surrounding Andromeda. It's the last way station before the expanse of the far reaches. And this is the first place you came, Mosey. So it's normally abandoned at the busiest of times and is home to some pretty shady and transient characters. You do see a couple of very interesting people sort of traipsing around on the surface of this asteroid. And as you arrive at the keep, you see a small fleet of ships hovering around the atmosphere, all surrounding a Gith pirate vessel, complete with like wind sails and a moving rudder. Like it looks like it's made of wood, but you see lines of tech all throughout and power cores in different places. And you know that this is where Zand is. And you land on the keep. How would you like to proceed?
Question. I know you're saying that we're land, but can we come in cloaked?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Cause
Div asks next, like, do you want to come with us? We're about to go, get our revenge on an old friend.
Nex nods and like puts a couple of data chips in like a little pouch at its side, like a little
I totally gave Nex a fanny pack.
Yeah, okay. So Nex has a little fanny pack full of little data chips, and they leave some on the ship in the little area where they were like organizing them, and then they take your hand.
They were surprised and Nex like takes their hand, but they definitely like take Nex's hand and they're like, we're gonna be stealthy this time, and then we'll fuck shit up.
Nex doesn't smile, but you do see them nod. And Oku grabs her gun and slings it along her back. You see her crack her neck. And she rolls her shoulders and says, "Are we going?"
Pet, why the fuck is your mom so badass? You see where you get it from.
You said this out loud?
I whispered to Pet, absolutely.
Fucking hell.
Absolutely.
He is kind of like, he just nods. He just nods. It's like a moment of like,
That's my mom.
Well, not like, we're not giving them too much.
Not too much, but
Oh yeah, go ahead, Apple.
Yeah, Mozaeya all seems like, are we okay? So are we killing Zand on sight? Do you want to give some like more like scary poetry at them, like you did at the house, or?
Pat considers this and tilts his head. I don't know yet, but I think he looks to Zin and just says to Zin, "You know what I need to do."
Zind nods faintly, says, I know. I don't want to see it.
You can stay in the ship.
Okay.
I think Pat, even if he has that feeling of like he knows what he wants to do, he already sees. He doesn't want Zin to see how he is going to act after this point towards Zan. And I think he goes up to Zin and really just like, I think he like tilts his like picks up his chin and everything, and I think he embraces him because he feels that this is going to be a turning point that he has to do, but the collateral damage of this all, he wants to try to comfort Zin the best way he can do it, but he knows in the back of his mind when he steps off this ship, it's going down.
Group hug moment.
Zind is limp. And roll me an insight check real quick. Anybody who would like.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'll do that. 23.
Oh, nice.
I'm a doctor.
20.
14. So, Dr. Bleak, Mozaeya. I'm so used to calling you Dr. Bleak. It's bonkers. Mozaeya, you see this.
Feel free to keep calling her Dr. Bleak. That's the face she's wearing. That's the outfit she got on right now. Shit.
So you see this most clearly because you have been an emotion doctor or playing at being an emotion doctor for a very long time. And you see resentment, anger, pain, upset, excitement to see his sister, frustration that there's never going to be a second option. He doesn't hug you back, Pat, but he does accept your arms around him. And after a moment, he pulls away and goes back into the workshop. And you see Oku look towards where he is and says, "Should I stay with him? I don't think he should be alone."
I think you should.
Probably wise.
Actually.
Yeah, you should also keep the car running in case we need to get the fuck out of Dodge very quickly. I trust you to get to us quickly.
Says that.
I think Pat, I feel like he feels this rejection from Sin, and it is tearing a little bit of himself. Like, he is so decisive of one thing. He is trying not to think of other options, if there's even possible. He wants to, but seeing that reactions made him think. And he says to his mother, "I think he changes to Trikin and says to her, please stay with him. The option that I have chosen for this moment, I can't bear him being by himself.
You see Oku give you a nod, and Zind has gone at this point, and she lowers her voice, speaks in Trikine, and says, "This is not an easy choice, is it?"
He shakes his head. The level of betrayal, I cannot accept it.
Oku looks conflicted at this and says, "I understand. But what I learned is that life cannot only be black and white. It happens in the gray areas. I won't tell you what to do. You know better than I what to do. But regardless of whatever else, she mattered to someone too." And she turns and she heads back into the workshop, and you hear her talking softly to Zind.
Alex!
Yes.
So they look.
Oh god. I know.
Mozaeya will put a hand on Pet's shoulder, like reach way up, place a hand on Pet's shoulder. Now that Zind is gone, I did want to bring up the option. We could have a bit of a throwback to our first meeting. I could pretend to be a hostage. I can turn into Zind if you think that would help gain the upper hand on Zand.
Ooh, okay. This is.
It's only an option. It's just.
I think Pet thinks about it. Okay, I gotta think of myself. I gotta think about Pet in character-wise. Would he use this option, anything to his vicinity, to do this? No. I need them to see me. Then
Understood.
just help us to find them. They don't need to be any more part of this.
Very honorable of you.
I don't know about honorable, but yeah, I think Pat does not want to use that option. He is going to face somebody. There's a lot of choices.
Mm-hmm.
There's choices.
Can I ask
but,
Zan's fashion sense at the very least? I feel like if they are upset that they would like be replaced, I can change my outfit to just double down on the fact that basically, since I'm essentially like them, that they got replaced, just as put a little extra salt in the wound.
Wait, replace them?
I want you to dress as you. I want you don't have to. You're not Zan. And I think Pet. I'm not Pet. I think Dev is saying that more honestly, like for themselves than for Mosey. But they're just like, you don't have to shift it to people that you aren't. I like your outfit, unless you want to match like me and Pet and get a little cuntier. I'm all for that.
I'm good for now, thank you.
What about the pink and balloon tattoo? I feel like you're like a member now. We should get you tatted up soon.
Mosey will like wave a hand over her other hand, and like a tattoo will just like appear on the back of her hand.
Then squeals. Like, it looks really good.
And she'll wave it again. It'll disappear. Perhaps after this.
I think Pat, I think it's going on, but Pat is so focused on the hurt that Zin felt,
Vengeance.
what his mom said in his own deep, enraged need for vengeance. So he's ready, as ready as he can be.
So the four of you, including Nex, the four of you, how do you approach?
We stealthing, baby? Or we coming in guns blazing? Did ask it because they're like, I don't make the plans. Just tell me which way to fucking
I would
fly.
recommend stealth, at least until we can confront them head on. Stealth up. You probably say something very vengeful and angry. We shoot them until they're dead.
I think Pat just looks at Mozaeya and looks at Div, and he says, sure, stealth will be best right now. I want to be in their vicinity. I want them to see me when I'm right there.
Wonderful.
Hey, but his gun around.
Let's head out then.
Let's get a group stealth check then.
Well,
Let's see what happens.
So let's get a stealth check for everybody. We'll take the highest two.
I'm
Okay.
gonna cast
Do we
Pass
get
Without Trace
to-
on us.
Okay, good.
Okay.
oh,
Cool.
wonderful. Sexy and amazing.
We do a +10 to it, right?
Mm-hmm. And
that brings
Blueberry,
me up
you
to
can
a
roll for
16.
Nex as well. So
I
a
rolled a
32 for
21
Pet,
mine.
32 for me.
32, 31. What'd you get, Doc?
No,
16.
21.
A 16 for you. No, Pet got a 22. You got a 21, a
Yes.
16. So we got a 26, a 32, and a 31.
Next we'll add a 2 to it.
Mhm.
Oh shit. 32 for next. No, 31 for next.
31. Okay.
Damn, look at you go.
So this is perfect. So the four of you approach, cannot be seen. You see the ship, the Gith pirate ship, sitting on the asteroid itself. And you approach, you head up, and you see a ramp that's like you see people loading things on and off, and you hear Lies. Let's get a perception check first to see what you hear.
I rolled a nat 1.
29. Jesus.
That's a 16, Batman.
Okay, so the DC
yes.
was 20.
Pat
And
is focused.
Pet blew through that shit, and it makes perfect sense. You
This
have
is
your
a
eyes.
fucking critical failure. They are trying to remember to stay calm. They're going to their
Yes.
happy place right now.
Your focus is entirely on making sure that you maintain, and you
Yeah.
feel Nex's claws in your claws trying to like hold you steady. Dr. Bleak, you hear the general goings on above the ship. You hear the small buzz of conversation. And Pet, you hear something else. You hear a conversation, a very loud conversation. Loud enough for you to hear, but still muffled. And you can't necessarily make out what they're saying, but you do hear Zan's voice. And then as you guys approach, you get closer and you get closer. The person that you recognize as Sarah's voice, you hear that as well, speaking in a low murmur. And then another voice, two other voices. One that you recognize, Div, and one that you recognize as well, Mosey. As the four of you approach, you walk up this ramp, and you hear like commotion of people moving in and out, and the rest of the Githyanki have just assumed that you are part of the crew, because the majority of these people are Githyanki, but Some of them are like Loxodon, some of them are gifts, some of them are autonomes, some of them are humans, some of them look human, some of them ain't human. And you just see people of all colors, shapes, sizes, colors, and creeds all up and through this shit. And you hear Zand talking. We can't stay here for too much longer. They're going to find us. And you hear Sarah, calm down. Nobody comes to the keep in the first place. This is just... And you hear Mosey, Sean Circadia. Ugh, can you get your anxious fucking girlfriend under control? And finally, you hear a different voice, an astral elf, Viz Barrows. And she says, all three of you are extremely annoying. And this has been an absolute pain in the ass. Working with you people has driven me up a wall. And you hear Sean go, what the fuck does that mean? And Viz says, I said what I meant and I meant what I said. And this is as you guys are walking up the ramp, you hear this happening in the back of the ship in the captain's quarters. What would you like to do?
I hear Sean Circadia.
Yes, you do.
Well, Alex.
Doctors.
Yes?
Div
Dr.
drops.
Bleak's coat goes black.
Oh, can I use this moment to like flash through my various visions to see if it's like a different color? Because I'm curious if it's... I don't know, but I'll roll
Go
something.
ahead and give me a
What should I
perception
roll?
check. Yeah, give me a
Okay.
perception check.
I'm so curious about Doc's coat. It's so fucking cool.
I am so
Okay.
stressed right now.
You
I
got
rolled
what?
an 18 plus 7.
18 plus 7,
I can't do math
25.
right now.
25. Okay. So, Doc, your coat has gone jet black, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you feeling in this precise moment? What is going through your head right now, hearing Sean Circadia's voice?
Cold, dark, beyond apathy. It is the sensation of Mozaeya Bleak having spent years, possibly with the real Dr. Bleak, working on unlearning the sheer like nihilism and apathy and nothing fucking matters of the universe, and learning that everything matters with Dr. Bleak. And in this moment, Mosey is regressing into focusing that sensation directly into Sean Circadia. Oh, Sean doesn't matter. Sean is net zero. Sean is null. And if I were to do whatever the fuck I wanted to him, it wouldn't matter. It is like a murderous intent of like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to destroy you. But it's the same like level of thought that you would give like the bacteria in your mouth when you brush your teeth. Like, oh, you're fucking gone, but like you don't matter.
Oh my
And that's kind of like the
God.
spectrum. That's like the spectrum of emotion that like Mosey is channeling of like, oh, you're gonna be so fucking gone.
You know how
You're
in
gonna be nothing. You're
anime
gonna
when
be
they
less than
zoom in
nothing.
on the camera and it's like their eyes are real big and you just see like that
Yep,
menacing
it's the
aura
fucking the fish
around
island,
dark-
the fish
yes,
islands. Yep.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
type shit.
That's
Turtle.
Mosey right now.
Type shit.
Mosey,
Real
See
quiet.
that?
Mosey's got the fucking like upward angle.
It's like a real
Yep.
quiet. You know, like they have internal. They're having a whole internal conversation. Just silence.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It like
So-
looks up at Mosey, clocks that, and they like give her a little gentle elbow nudge and just whispers like, "We're gonna get our piece."
Looking at the coat in this like infrared night vision UV light situation going on, looking at the coat, what you see, it looks black. With the naked eye, it looks black. But you see a very deep red, blood red. And it still looks black. The coat is still black. This, however, is cosmic indifference, monumental murderous intent. This is a fly swatter to a mosquito. This is inevitability made plain.
Ooh. Ooh, damn, Alex, that's a fucking bar. That was a bar. That was a bar. Ooh, new episode title. I keep changing it, but that's fire. Because all of this is inevitable. This was always gonna get hers. Fucking Zan been on the hit list. Sarah, fuck you too, bitch. We don't know you, but fuck you in the fucking clique that you claim. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was inevitable. This is always gonna come for their asses. And I just think that that's like, Div is completely in agreement with Nosy right now, with Doc right now. Yeah, go ahead, Satine. Because I felt like you was gonna say something. Were you gonna say something, Satine?
Oh, Pat is clocking in to how Zan sounds worried, and he just feels in a level very elated, because he knows if they sound worried, if she sounds worried, she already knows what they're going to bring to the table when they walk in there.
So sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Div will start preparing a spell. They're gonna start preparing Ice Knife before we get in there.
Okay. So how are y'all approaching? Do you want to go in, or are you like lying in wait? What's happening?
Div will connect telepathically with Doc and Pet, and they're like, I'm gonna cast something. We good with that? And we're gonna what do we want to do? Because I'm itching to begin.
Let's just kill him.
Great. Div cast Ice Knife. Like, are they like all within like a circle, like a you know what I mean? Like they're conversing.
They are behind. They are behind a door. Heading towards they're in the captain's quarters, basically. And you see people are now starting to take notice of the fact that they don't know y'all. And like you hear Viz go, I shouldn't have known not to work with a bunch of fucking big cats. Childish and ridiculous. All of you are. You can't see the bigger picture. And she turns and opens the door to the captain's quarters and begins to brush past you, and then feels metal on her leg and looks down and sees Nex grabbing her pant leg.
If she's about to walk past me, then fuck the
No,
Ice Knife.
she stopped. She was going to walk past you though, yeah.
But she's like, okay, but she's not in that group anymore though, right?
No, she's walked away.
Div is gonna go into a rage immediately and jump on this bitch. I'm going straight for her fucking neck immediately.
Beautiful. We love to see it. Let's get some initiative rolls, shall we?
Yes. Shout out to Connie Chong for
Shout out to Connie Chong for accelerated combat. I feel like we're just gonna use this every season finale. Because it's so good.
We sure did use it for season 1.
Yeah, we did. So we have everybody's rolls, and y'all did not come to fucking play this time. It shows. The dice are telling the story, and boy, howdy. All right. So first up in initiative is Div. Well, Div and Nex act on the same initiative. So however you would like to play that out, we'll go with that.
Is it a hit though?
Shit, that's right.
Yeah, that's what we.
Yes, both of y'all hit.
Div.
What you gonna use?
Oh, that's what I'm thinking, my nigga. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, which one bitches do I want to take first? But because Viz was already walking past them and Nex grabbed her because we share the same fucking brain cell. And as soon as we make eye contact, Div like tilts their head and they're like, it is so fucking good to see you again. They fly into a rage and they just immediately jump onto this bitch with their, and this time, should I do a wild magic roll when I fly into a rage? I know we're doing like accelerated combat, but
we are doing accelerated combat, so we're gonna say no for that for now.
Cool. Well, Div will fly into the rage though, and they're gonna use like, you know, the claws that they have, you know, that Pet has modded, and like they are, you know, now they're actual claws.
Mhm.
They just, you ever see like a monkey attack somebody? Like they jump onto their front and just start going ham on their fucking. That is what Div does, because they're like, I'm gonna fuck up your moneymaker. And it is what it is. I think they grab her by the throat with one hand and they like curl their fist in the other, and they just like are wailing on her until she eventually like falls back on her back. And once they have her on the floor, they're not coming up. And I think for Nex probably sees Div like this, and like Nex has seen Div fight, but they haven't seen Div be so like ravenous, or like so to speak. And I think Nex is like, well, Div has that covered. Looks to Xand. Those like eye cameras kind of like zoom in on her. They like step past Div, and I think they just rush towards Xand and just start. And you know, like Nex hasn't really fought with their hands before. They have mainly used like their black hole, but this time they're using paws for sure. They just do a quick like do you know what I mean? Uppercut, fucking under the chin. They just start getting her how they can, just like straight up boxing formation. I feel like.
So that both of y'all land a critical blow. Is that what you're gonna go for? That's what you're pulling from the hit list?
Oh, yeah, right. I can do that. Let me see. Hold on. Let me look at it real quick. What does Xand maybe have on her person right now that made it look of importance? Because I want to seize, I would like for Nex, if that's the case, to seize something from Xand. Maybe her weapon, if she has a weapon on her.
Yeah, she does. She has a whip.
Interesting.
I
like the idea of Nex snatching the whip off of her belt loop and then like cracking it and like using it in a way where it wraps her up in it. So now her arm is stuck to her side, and she's probably like fighting against the whip, I think.
She does. And you see her go, what the this? And then she sees Div.
Yeah, I feel like Div jumped on Viz so hard, this bitch like flew back into the room. Like jump, like fall on the floor, skid on the floor, back fully into the room. Div like has her by the throat, makes eye contact with Zen, is like, you're fucking next. And then like keeps wailing on her.
And at this point, you see Nex come and like snatch the belt from her body, and he flicks it out with a sharp snap and wraps her up in it, and she goes, what the fuck is this thing? Trying to get away from it. And she looks at Sarah and she says, I told you we shouldn't have stopped here.
She did.
So
she's usually right. That's why she's the fucking brains of the party.
So next we have Mosey. You just hit.
Just hit. Damn. All right. No fucking around. I see. We are in like the ship, right? So there's like a full like pirates crew surrounding us, right?
Yes. Yeah. They are not interfering though. They are pirates after all.
They're not interfering. Great.
No.
Awesome. Spectacular.
As
Don't have to waste my time frightening, mesmerizing anybody.
It's happening too quickly for anybody to react, to be honest.
Yeah. I think Dr. Bleak will not like ignore like the fucking carnage of Div. And have I ever like seen Viz before? Like has Viz ever been mentioned ever? Nope. Just like, all right, that they are. Nope. That's someone else who has earned the ire.
I think Pet knows who Viz is, because Viz is like, again, like It's so fucking funny that this bitch is here. I really didn't expect that. But the same way, Doc is like, this nigga is null and void. Like, Sean means absolutely fucking nothing. That is how Div feels about Viz.
Mhm.
We know who this
Wonderful.
is. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think, as I was seeing that, seeing next handling Zand, I think they will kind of lock in on Dr. Circadia. And how do they look?
Sean looks confused at first and then looks to his sister, Sarah, and then like makes eye contact with you. And you are wearing the face of Dr. Mozaeya Bleak. So you see Sean, his eyes soften and then narrow in confusion. And he says, "What the fuck are you doing here? I thought you were a nun."
And I think Mosey doesn't say anything. I think she just like continues like walking towards him very peacefully, very serenely. And it's just like, yeah, I think she same thing that she did to Foss Barlow of just like dissonant whisperings and just, I would like to, if I can, take every single bit of trauma and experimentation that has ever occurred to me at the New Frontier Rehabilitation Center and just push that into his head like a fucking needle, like an ice pick.
Ooh, Chihuahua. Ouch. Ouchie, ouch. Poor Sean. Not really. So you see, explain to me, first and foremost, explain to me what this looks like as you reach Sean. Explain to me what you do, what this looks like for you.
Yeah, I think it's just like a very like gentle like hand on his cheek. Hello, Sean. Not quite a nun. And in the same way that her like eyes go black, the inky black of like her coat like has not changed from like the void black. And I think it's just them two for a moment. And I think her eyes, instead of being fully pitch black, they kind of have like an orange glow around the rims of it this time, almost like the sort of corona of a black hole. And it's just psychically sucks him in and drives that fucking psychic energy directly into his brain and just tries to deal as much psychic damage as physically possible in as short a time as possible, just to completely overwhelm him. Not quite kill him, but just incapacitate him for as much as possible.
He doesn't even have time to scream. It happens so quickly. You touch his cheek just as gentle as you please, and you see him sort of lean into it for a moment before he catches himself. And then you see he watches your eyes and is deeply, deeply confused. And then the eyes go black, no pupil. Coat flies open, black, no color. Eyes have the corona around them, the orange glow. And his own eyes widen in pure shock. And then you, from gripping his cheek, tighten like a vice and push everything that he has ever done to you into his mind like a spike. He doesn't even have time to scream. He just goes limp. And his eyes roll back in his head. You see he drools a little and he falls and begins to like writhe in pain, looking like, you know how a roach looks when you hit him with Raid? He looks like that.
Fuck.
Yeah, he
Wonderful.
looks like that. He start twerking a little bit, but not in the fun way.
That's such a fucking funny visual. That's so fucking good. I stand Mosey.
Yes, Mosey is doing her big one. So next we have Pet. What would you like to do? You do hit.
I do hit?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So all this chaos has happened around me as a burst of damage. And Zen is wrapped around in their whip, right?
Xandis, yeah.
All right. And I could just pick one. And I hit, right? I hit.
You hit.
I think I'm going to. I was going between seizing something figuratively or frighten them. I think what Pet does, I'm going to try to frighten them so they could flee. Because Pet loves the chase. So
Pet does the anonymous walk.
as everyone is like, Mozaeya is jumping, like this nigga is on the ground doing breakdancing, and
why you say that?
it has it because I think they're wrapped in. I want Zan to look at them, and I want to say to them, I think first, Pet is gonna, he hasn't taken his weapon down yet. He just gives a great big smile of just relief to Zan. There's kind of a loving nature to it that finally, that they haven't seen them in forever, like this year. And it slowly warps into someone who has so much distraint of this person. He bares his teeth as he smiles and looks at them and says, Zan, I finally found you again. But unfortunately, he's still smiling at her, his smile getting more at edge, and anger seeping from him from the time he got taken away from him, the death and the despair that she has caused with one decision to betray them, and says to the traitor, I speak not her name no longer. Once someone I trusted and loved, now the flesh will provide nutrients to the universe. Let the three forge a better being once I take your life. By the spark, goodbye. And I would like to frighten her.
Zand, I'm gonna keep it a bean, was already pretty fucked up in the head. Because she went from telling her girlfriend, hey, we gotta fucking go, to seeing her colleague get beaten to a bloody pulp by her former rival / friend / enemy / whatever. And so you see Zand, who has never once been a coward, shrink even further, stops wriggling in the whip, and goes stock still, and tilts her chin up and says, and I'd do it again.
Literally, the smile at her. And he says, well, let's play this game.
Hey, Oblivion, welcome you, bitch. Like
# Zand on business, name of the episode.
Oh my god.
And I do it again. Zand on business, baby. Let's go.
Zand on business is bonkers. So yes, you do. She does though. She looks frightened. Her face has gone pale. The words that she spoke were firm, but they shook as they come out of her mouth, stumbling over themselves, trying to get out. And she's standing still, but she's vibrating with terror, abject terror, and her eyes never once leave yours. But she stands there, haughty, arrogant, feeling justified in her betrayal.
Yeah, no. I think Pet is just like, there's a level of he is already just like, he was thinking about it, but now it's on. He already said his prayer. Now he just needs to return her to the universe.
So, with fights out of the way, we do wound rolls now.
Oh, because I got a nat 20 for my wound
Yeah, I know
rolls,
you don't take anything.
Your resourcefulness grants another PC advantage on their wound roll. Who got the lowest?
Who has the lowest?
Yes, who has the lowest wound roll?
Next.
Okay, I think
Mosey got a 23, Div got a 19. Next got a 17.
Okay. I think, would he even listen to me? Would they even listen to me? It doesn't matter. I want to grant, because I see that they got him tied up. Can I just like look towards Next and just nods to them, and I want to grant them that ability to have that advantage.
The advantage. Okay. So Blueberry, if you'd like, you can go ahead and re-roll Nex's wound roll. He's already pretty high. They rolled a 17, but they do have advantage now. We'll start with you for your wound roll though. Right. So Div, you got 5 over the DC. You take 3d6 damage. As Sarah pulls out, what does Sarah have? Sarah has a gun. And she pulls out like a blunderbuss, for want of a better phrase, like she's got a blunderbuss. And she takes it and shoots at you. And she hits you in the shoulder as you're raising your fist to pound down into Viz's face yet again. Viz's face is a fucking bloody pulp at this point. She has been knocked unconscious, and you're slamming your claws down into meat at this point.
Div would have been like, wake up, bitch. Wake up for this ass whooping.
Wake up for this ass whooping, this blockers. So you So you see Sarah very calmly pulls out her blunderbuss and aims, takes a shot, shoots you right in the shoulder as you're like bringing your fist down to connect with Viz's meat again. And you take 3d6 damage. So you're pretty banged up. Not terribly though.
I rolled the 3d6 and I rolled a 5.
You rolled a 5? Okay, you take 5 damage. So next is 3 over the DC. And is also pretty banged up. You see Sarah turns again, boom, and shoots at Nex as well, hitting him in the throat now. Like you see the bullet go in one side and out the other. And it doesn't stop Nex from doing anything, except like turning to face Sarah as it holds on, as they hold tight to where Xand is standing. And you see Nex like reach for the hatch. Doesn't move, doesn't do anything, but reaches for the hatch and takes 3d6 damage.
Okay.
Mosey, you are 9 over the DC. You take 2d6 damage. As Sarah tries to pistol whip you. Because you're standing close to her and you just like psychic spiked her younger brother. So she takes the blunderbuss, brings it up and cracks it down on your skull. And you feel like an impact and blood sprout forth from your head. And you take 2d6 damage. And lastly is Pet, unscathed, untouched. And you have, that is the end of this round of play. So my question is, you have Sarah untouched, Sean incapacitated, Viz incapacitated, and Zand tied up. What would y'all like to do? Do you think that this is a good place to end combat? Would you like to continue combat? Let me know.
Div will fucking grab Viz. How is she looking right now?
Knocked the fuck out. Knocked the fuck out. You have been pounding into her face. She is an astral elf, and her face is being pounded into by straight up metal, behind which is rage. So yeah, she's a little fucked up right now. Homegirl don't even have a character sheet, so I know she fucked up.
Damn.
Div sighs regretfully and drops her to the ground and sets sight on Sarah, because Sarah just hit Doc and we can't be having that. And they just fucking shot next. And so they look at Sarah and they look at Xan and they're like, this is who you fucking betrayed Estri for?
Xand gives you a look that is venomous with hatred. And she says, yes. Someone who loved me, yes. That's who I betrayed you pieces of shit for, yes.
We fucking loved you. Zend fucking loves you. You're a bigger idiot than I fucking thought.
When you mention Zend, you see her face falter. And she looks regretful when you say his name.
They bound towards Sarah on all fours.
Okay. So we're doing another round?
How do y'all feel?
Mosey's gonna see if taking Sean hostage just makes Sarah stand down themselves.
Is that what you're trying to do? You wouldn't take Sean hostage?
Could. It might be like, what? Yeah, just to see if that makes Sarah stand down, since everybody else seems to be wrapped up.
I'm for that.
Sarah...
Do you also... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, baby.
I was gonna say, does Div want to take the one that they did the electric slide on hostage also?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. I see what y'all putting down. I see what y'all niggas are putting down.
We don't need Sarah. That bitch can go. But I need Viz though. And Div will probably yell out like, I need her, because she might know where Doc is.
Mozaeya will nod, and yeah, I think Mozaeya will also just they're very hunched over right now, and their eyes aren't fully there. They're gonna grab Sean by the hair, take out the lancet blade, and hold it at his throat, and just make this dark fucking eye contact with Sarah. Is this yours?
You see Sarah's jaw drops, and her hands shake a little, and then she steadies herself and she holds the blunderbuss up to your head. And she says, if you do it, I will. Let him go.
I'm feeling so froggy.
I'm feeling so froggy. You're not in much of a position. You're not in much of a position to negotiate right now. And they'll kind of tilt their head at this, again, very weird 90-degree angle.
I just caught the visual of that, and fuck me, Jesus. Okay.
Again, very crouched over, very feral. I could slit his throat. If you kill me, then he'll never recover from this. And she'll nod down to the fucking vegetative state he's in. I'm the only one who can undo it. And so if you'd like a vegetable, feel free to shoot me. If you'd like compost, put the fucking gun down, or else.
She thinks about this for a very long time. and you see her eyes flick between yours, the black, no pupil, pure corona, and down to her brother, who is like catatonic. And finally, her shoulders fall, and she lets the gun fall from her like grip, still like holds out her hands like she's got the gun out of her grip. And she's like, who the fuck are you again?
We're the cavalry, motherfucker. Give us our goddamn supplies before we kill you all.
And
Period.
Sarah, full tilt, looks completely shocked. And she says, oh, right. Supplies. And as though she's completely forgotten that that's what need to happen. And you see Zand go, give them what the fuck they want and get me the hell out of this.
Pat looks at Zan, and he sees. Okay, so is it said that they're gonna give? It sounds like they're giving up. The three.
Yeah. Sarah has given up. Viz is unconscious. Sean is catatonic, and Zand is incapacitated at this moment.
Yeah, pretty much. I think Pat. I feel Pat. I think what Pat does, I think he pulls out his gun and aims it at Zan. I think Pat looks at Zan, and I see that is it the same kind of hatred level like that
for you?
Yes. Can I get an insight?
Yeah, give me an insight check. Yeah,
yes,
give me an insight
baby.
check. 23.
Yes.
Zand, for Div, it's pure unmitigated venom. For you, there is anger, but there is also hurt there. So it's both. She doesn't just outright hate you. Div couldn't care less. Couldn't care less.
I gotta. This. I know what Pat wants to do, and this is so hard, man. This is so hard. I gotta make this decision. I think Pat says to Zan, remembering from one of the tapes an idea of Zan, as I've seen this insight of them, I take my gun and I shoot them in both of their legs.
Ooh. Okay.
I want to incapacitate them for the meantime.
Yeah.
And say, because everyone's incapacitated, and say, you weren't just one thing to everyone. You were more. And I shoot them in the fucking legs.
In the kneecaps, yeah.
Yeah.
You see Zand looks confused at first. And then, like, the anger disappears, the venom disappears, the bravado disappears, and it's just Zand, your former friend, your former confidant, looking completely vulnerable and entirely heartbroken. And she makes to speak, to respond, and then boom, boom, in her legs, and she can't do anything but scream because ouch, her fucking kneecaps, you feel me? So yes, you have incapacitated all of your enemies
and
in one goddamn round.
I think Pat's gonna say, I think this is the least of your suffering you will have. you have other people to face for.
So, Zand does not respond to that. She is too busy trying to stand on broken legs. So, you have the four of them completely fucked up. The only one who's still standing is Sarah. And she looks impassively over at Zand in her suffering. Zand doesn't even look at her. And you can feel the chasm between the two of them. You can feel the distance as Sarah goes completely blank-faced, drops the gun, and tries to leave.
Oh, no.
She's trying. I mean, you don't have to let her.
No. I'm saying
Sarah,
no.
I do have to. Yeah,
No.
I do have to ask. Does he care about you at all? Do you think?
Who?
He'll kind of like point towards Sean.
Oh. Sarah, I don't know who you are, but you've stolen everything I care about.
I'm sorry. It wasn't my intention. You made a lot of enemies. He was very hurtful to a lot of people. I was going to catch up to him, and he should have looked over his shoulder a bit more.
Sarah shakes her head, says, would it honestly have mattered?
I would have found him regardless, so no, not
Exactly.
much.
She sighs and looks over at Zand, who is not looking at her. And you see Sarah reach, think better of it, pull her hand away, let it fall to her side. And the gun clatters to the floor. And she says, you wanted your supplies for the cavalry. I'll have my men load them up.
Pleasure doing business. Hopefully our relationship can only improve from here.
Sarah's eyes get glassy, and she says, I think we're done after this.
Can I, before they leave, can I kind of like stick my hand out and just an X? Why?
Sarah, this shorter Githyanki woman, she looks to you and she says, how could I resist her?
Give me a fucking break. Dude says it out. Like, fully out loud. Give me a fucking break. This bitch pointing like a fucking clawed finger in Zan's direction got so many innocent community members killed because of a personal grudge she had against me. And they look at her because you couldn't fucking speak up and tell the person you love that you fucking love them. I thought we were friends. Div, like, is shaking. They fully want to, like, beat the shit out of Zan right now. They're like, fuck, I know we just settled this shit, but Ricky, when I catch you, I said
we
I was
got
gonna
it.
go.
We got it.
Ricky been caught.
We got it.
You're right. You're
Ricky
right.
been
And
caught.
honestly, it'll be good for Zen too, and I'm happy about that. But like, I don't like this bitch. And that's how I feel.
Zand doesn't look at you, doesn't acknowledge what you said, just looks down at her hands, staring unseeingly at them. And Sarah goes, yes, well, what you see and what I see are different. I don't know why. I know that I love her.
Love is a powerful motivator, and I wish you the best luck in finding a better one.
Sarah, like, you see a tear fall from her eye, and she sniffs, quickly wipes it away, and storms out, furious.
Yeah, I think Pat just basically puts his hands up.
She leaves. And she keeps her word. Her crew does load Oku down with fucking supplies, fills up the coffers entirely. The ship is much more cramped now. There's still space and room to groove and whatever on the top floor, but at the bottom, where all the supplies and stuff go, completely filled. And my question now is, how do y'all proceed now that you have captives, essentially?
I call Zand to come aboard. And I say, Zen. Mm-hmm. I call him and I'm like, Zen, we just captured everybody. Zand is still alive, and I think you should come see her.
Zend.
I know, right? We gotta change that boy name. We gotta give him
You did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. You did it to yourself.
You did it to yourself.
I don't know what the fuck I did this to myself for.
Tragic.
Like, okay.
Anyway, a prison of your own making. Go ahead.
You holding on to bars with open doors behind me. So you see Zend has been crying. You can tell he's been like chewing at his fingernails, pacing relentlessly. And when you say we think you should come see her, we just captured everybody, his face goes slack in shock. And he looks from Div to you, Pet, and then rushes up and gives you a huge hug. And he says very quietly, "Thank you." And then rushes off to go find his sister. And
oh my god.
Just before he goes, you hear not a ding, but you see him stop entirely. And he cocks his head to the side and he goes, "No way." And you hear he turns, whirls to look back at you, and he says, "She's awake. Astra's awake." And you see his face, like his jaw drop. He says, "New frontier." Does that mean anything to you?
Mozaeya, who will have been struggling for the past 15 minutes to drag Sean Circadia's body onto this ship.
I feel like I would have helped you. I would have at least helped you.
Absolutely would not let Dog be the muscle of anything. We would come do that for you.
I would at least help you up, literally, because Pat is already not talking that much because he already did what he's supposed to do. His anger has somewhat subsided with busting out the kneecaps of their friend, but
it's what she deserves. Because
it's far worse living.
Mm-hmm. It's true. I agree with that. True. Actually.
Death is too easy.
I'm not mad
saying
about the route we went at all. And I didn't, Zen would have bared some form of resentment towards us forever. I feel like. Even this is I know you gotta do what you gotta do. It's this is still his sister though. So, yeah.
I think also
I guess it worked out.
I think also the important thing too for Pat has been seeing what other people have done, and also the fact that he has given his mom a second chance in some way, in some fashion, and maybe down the line, maybe Zan, maybe, or it's not. I think they should suffer. It's more like he wants her to suffer for the rest of this time being together, but at the same time giving that chance for other people to get their lick in. Because it's not only just him. He's trying to think outside the box. Like, it's not just him alone anymore. There's other people involved.
So, as you drag Sean Circadia's body into the ship, you hear I don't know why the fuck I did this to myself. You hear Zend. You hear Zend mention that Astra is at the New Frontier.
I think Doc will straighten. For the first time, the coat doesn't go leaves the black, goes back to its regular neutral colors, a few strikes of yellow, and then just back to its regular little rainbow multicolor. It'll turn to Zend. Then we probably need to save her right away. Yes, as soon as possible. Bad place.
Doc, give me 1 second.
Alex?
You get a ping on your communicator from the
Checks it
real
immediately.
Dr. Bleak.
Ah, my girl.
Mm-hmm. And she says, where do you want to meet?
I think Doc will start texting back with a bunch of heart emojis. They'll take a picture of catatonic Sean Circadia. Send TTYL, little busy right now, have to save someone from New Frontier, BRB, ILY, EFF. Send.
You see when she receives the message, you can tell when it's been read, read receipts are on. And she reads through it, and you see the little bubble as she types, then stops, then types, then stops. And then she says, I'll beat you there. And from there, we will close out season 2
Shit.
of Echo.
Yeah, baby.
Yo.
We did it, guys.
We fucking did it.
Hey, it's Satine. If you enjoyed this episode, give us our roses by rating us 5 stars and writing a lovely review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Want more BaddieBards? Our social media details are in the description below. And remember, we are here. Bye!